Good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy first day of spring. Spring has sprung. And I'm back in a sweatshirt. And yesterday it was almost 80 degrees and I was hot. That's fine. I don't know which winter we're in. I've lost track. But I know we're not in blackberry winter and we're not in dogwood winter. Wait a minute. Oh no. I was going to say, wait a minute, that dogwood's blooming, but no. That is the pear tree. A partridge in a pear tree. Yeah, I don't know. They have names for all the winters. I just don't know what's blooming right now to know which winter we're in. So,
I can't get no satisfaction. I just have to tell y'all. Well, okay, this is a public service announcement, okay? For anybody who don't know, and I don't know how you don't know. Do you not have to pass a driving test anymore? I don't know. But it happens a lot, okay? We're going down the road, and here comes a railroad crossing. The railroad crossing's been there ever since I've been on this earth. So I don't know how people are surprised by this railroad crossing, first of all. Second of all, there's hardly ever a train crossing that railroad crossing. I think they do all their crossing in the middle of the night like you're supposed to. Thirdly, when we're coming down that hill, you are hailed! Or hill. When you're coming down that hill, and there's a bus in the lane next to you. The bus is in the right lane, you're in the left lane. We're all moving along, having a great time. The bus has to stop and open its doors. Stop, look, and listen for 10 seconds or something. Hey, neighbor, you ain't waving to me. Why ain't you waving to me? Hey. The waving neighbor, she almost missed a waving at me. Goodness. She just like looked right over me. Well, anyway, okay, so they have to stop, but they don't put out their stop sign. Now, one did a couple of weeks ago, and he did almost cause a catastrophe. Tuesday, when I was on the way to the office, the stop sign was not out. The bus stopped, opened the doors, stop, look, and listen. Okay? That does not mean that the left lane, that does not mean the left lane has to stop, look, and listen, okay? The left lane can keep on going because them railroad tracks have been there for so long that you don't even have to slow down to go over them. They just as smooth as a baby's butt. Yeah, you just whoop, whoop, whoop. That's exactly what it does. Whoop, whoop. And this person stopped. And I don't mean like stopped for a second and then said, oh yeah. I mean, they were stopped still the whole time that bus was stopped. Well, the 10 cars in line behind them at least, we all just about met Jesus because none of us were expecting. We all expect to slow down, okay? We all expect to, because, you know, some people don't know that these railroad tracks are smooth, okay? You go down a hill, you go over the tracks, and then you go back up the hill. They're not raised. They're level with the ground. You don't even hardly notice that there's railroad tracks there, okay? And, yeah, so I came to a quick stop. Thankfully, I wasn't so close to the car in front of me that my beep, 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 beep didn't start sounding, because that thing makes me anxious, you know? We about to go over these railroad tracks. I'm going to show you. I ain't slowing down. 40 miles an hour. Look, that was it. They're flat, okay? So none of us are used to slowing down, okay? We just keep right on going. The truck, the very large truck in front of me, thankfully stopped, because I was sitting here like this. He stopped, and then a bunch of cars behind him. All I heard was horns blowing and women screaming out car windows, and I didn't really hear women screaming out car windows, but I did hear a bunch of horns blowing. And I was like, you bunch of horn blowers, look, we can't help it. We got to wait on that front car to get her or his head out of his rear and go, okay? We can't just push him out of the way. Oh, girls and boys, it was rough, okay? It was rough. I'm a very safe driver. I mean, okay, I said the other day I'd never had an at-fault accident. I've had one, and it was dismissed because we were all sitting on, okay, we had gone up to the Walmarts, and we had get off the Interstate 75, and we were in the turn lane to turn right, and the car in front of me is waiting to turn right, you know, like you have to wait till there ain't no cars coming, right, and then he starts going. Well, what do I do when he starts going, except I start slowly rolling forward and looking to my left to see if anything's coming, right, because it's my turn to go, except Numbskull up there stopped again, and I gently tapped his bumper, ever so gently to tap his bumper, you know. There was no damage to either vehicle, but he was being a butthole about it, and he wanted to call the police, and I was like, well, you call the police then. So the police get there, and he said, well, I mean, any accident that happens from the rear is technically your fault, because, you know, you're at fault because you hit him, even though he stopped short and you didn't know it. You wasn't watching. I said, okay, that's fine. I mean, hey, I did it, you know. I did it, Mama. I did it. However, your boy up there that demanded on calling the police to an accident with no injuries, because I wasn't even going 5 miles an hour, because I was rolling. We be rolling. I was rolling. And he said his car tag is expired, and his driver's license is expired, and his front headlight is broken. So he got ow. Why can't you do that when you get old? You can't just throw up them fingers. Can't be throwing up gang signs anymore because my hand be hurting. Anyway, he got 3 tickets to my 1 ticket. And then my 1 ticket was dismissed. I don't know why. I don't know why. I didn't pay a ticket. I mean, I called them and they said it was taken care of. I said, okay. I don't know. I don't ask questions, you know. When they say a ticket's taken care of, I said, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, anyway, and I've only had, I mean, knock on wood, because, you know, but I'm just a safe driver. I mean, I do have a lead foot sometimes, but not on these back roads that I'm on, and not in the neighborhood, you know, stuff like that. But you get me on an open expressway and there's not a lot of cars, yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit faster than I should be, you know what I'm saying? But look, I don't know what I was saying. Oh, I've only had 1 accident that was bad, and it totaled my car, and it wasn't my fault. The first driver stopped for a dog crossing the road, which I don't blame her, you know. Hey, however, the second car stopped, and I stopped without hitting anything, and I was kind of cattywampus, you know, because when I stopped, my car kind of, you know, it was that, what was it? Oh, it was that Chevette. It just kind of went, but I didn't hit nothing. But the car behind me, which was one of them like Oldsmobile Delta 88s that was 20 foot long and weighed 2 tons or something. Anyway, it hit me. And it finished straightening my car out and pushed me into the car in front of me. And it caved in the passenger side. And I wasn't wearing a seatbelt because, you know, we didn't wear seatbelts back then. I was 19. And, or 20. It doesn't matter. The only thing I had was a little bruise on the outside of my knee from where it hit the little gear shift. And all these people kept telling me not to get out of the car because I could be hurt. And I was like, but I feel fine. There's no blood coming from anywhere. I can move everything. Nobody had let me get out of the car, which made me mad. You know, because you think you know everything. I did. I knew everything. And then the police officer showed up, and he knew me because I had worked at Cop PD for a couple of years. And he told me I could get out of the car. I was like, they wouldn't let me out of the car. But anyway, and then I saw all the people driving by doing this. I was like, stop looking. Stop it. Okay, just stop it. I'm stuck in my car because nobody will let me get out of the car. Ugh. But anyway, the guy behind me didn't have insurance, so that was lovely. That was a totaled car with no recompense. Is that the right word? I may have made that word up. But anyway, thanks for joining me on my ride to work. And we had some excitement here the other day. I was shredding, and Lisa said, man, that ambulance is loud. And when I stood up and turned around, I said, well, that's because it's right in front of the building in the parking lot. And our neighbor had to go to the hospital, and we don't know what happened. But he is a fairly anxious fellow, so it might have been his heart. He's one of them super thin people that run 90 miles an hour and never slows down. Yeah. He's young. I mean, like 40s. So I don't know. But anyway, he got up out of the chair and walked over to the stretcher. So it wasn't terrible, you know. But we'll see. I'm sure we'll find out because I'm going to put Amy on the case to call him. Find out what happened. But anyway, y'all have a great day. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. We hope he's coming back soon because people be crazy. Okay? And I'll talk to you on the next one. Toodles. Stay warm because it's a cold day again.